He says, for sin shall not rule over you, for you are not under the law, but under favor. Now, what is that all about? If you don't understand Paul, okay, Paul talks about law in two ways. When he says under the law, he says the punishments or penalties of the law, or he's referring to the law of sin and death, which is your law. In this case, I think what he's saying is, look, he says, you are not under the law penalty, right? Because if you break the Torah, death, that's it. He says, but you're now under favor because now you're doing what's right and you're meriting favor. Please follow that. It's not saying we're not under the Torah, we're under something else. He's saying, no, you're no longer under the penalty that you earned breaking Torah because Yeshua paid that price. You've chosen now to bury that. Remember, the whole context of this is the burying of that old thing. So you can't just now jump to this verse and ignore everything we just read in chapter 6, which really goes way back into 5 and 4, etc., okay? So he's saying is, we're not under that penalty. He's saying all of that stuff died with Messiah so that we can have favor. What merits the favor? Our choice to switch from the one to the other. So it's still merited favor. I know it says grace in your English, whatever, okay? It's still merited. It's merited because you made the choice. He still did what he did regardless of your choice. You get nothing if you don't make the choice. I don't know how else to say that. You get nothing unless you make a choice. However, if he hadn't done what he did, there would be nothing to get. All right? Without him doing what he did, there is nothing for you. But because he did, now what you do can matter and can merit favor. That's what Paul's trying to explain here. He's trying to compare, look, you people, you can't just think that now that I have Messiah, I can just do whatever I want. You already were acting stupid. Now that you believe in Messiah, you think that still acting stupid is going to work? So you're stupid and you believe in Messiah. Good for you. All right? You're supposed to change. He's saying you need to take the stupid you and put it in the ground. And by stupid, I don't mean intelligence. I mean the you that just was after its own lusts and its desires that it talked about here. It said, therefore, do not let sin reign in your mortal body to obey it in its desires. Its desires to do whatever it wants on Saturday and keep whatever holidays you want, eat whatever you want, do, right? That's its desires. Paul's making the most incredible case for Torah observance that you can find, if you just listen to him straight, okay? So then he goes, for sin shall not rule over you, but you're not under the law, but under favor. He says, what then? Shall we sin because we're not under the Torah, but under favor? He's saying, because we don't have the punishment or penalty of the Torah anymore, and now we've merited some favor, should we just sin? This is a straight out thing right here. He says, let it not be. What are the definition of terms here, please? He says, what then? Shall we sin? Go listen to the sin teaching. What defines sin? The law does. Paul says, I wouldn't have known sin without the law. In other words, I wouldn't have known what sin is. I would have still sinned. I wouldn't know what it was. We have another verse that says, sin is what? Transgression of the law. Okay? So he's saying, shall we transgress the law because we are no longer under the penalty of transgressing the law? And he said, let it not be. He's like, that's dumb, okay? That's incredible foolishness in the extreme. He says, do you not know that to whom you present yourself servants for obedience, you are servants to the one whom you obey? Now what is he saying? Are you obeying the old you or are you obeying Elohim? What did Elohim want you to obey? The law. He says, you are servants of the one whom you obey, whether sin to death or obedience to righteousness. So all you Christians, please tell me, what righteousness, if not the Torah, could this be talking about? What righteousness?